Hello everybody and welcome back to Plants vs. Zombies. Last time we encountered our first big conveyor belt level outside of Walnut Bowling, since I forgot that that had conveyors. This time, we're now defending our lawn in the middle of the night. There's a zombie to us. I will bring cherry bombs, walnuts, my gas potato mine. So, as Dave said last time, the sun will no longer fall from the sky, so we are stuck with sunflowers for the time being. However, mushrooms are free. And I'm just going to say it, this is the best plant. This is one of the best plants in the game. You can beat every level in World 2 with just puff shrooms. It's crazy how actually really good they are. Okay, well that's a little unfortunate. Puff shrooms, they're cheap mushrooms with a small 3-tile range, so they can only shoot this tile, this tile, and this tile. Well, any zombie ahead, they just will not see. Yeah, but however, you know, they cost 0 sun. That's just good no matter what. Also, I guess pointing out the obvious, there are gravestones on the yard. Gravestones, you cannot plant anything on them. You can't plant any normal plants on them. Okay. And then whenever the final wave shows up, zombies will reach for them, and zombies will come out from those graves, and I'm pretty sure they can only be, basic heads or buckets. Money! Wow. Once you collect 30 coins without letting one despawn, you get the achievement Penny Pincher, and that's on the computer, iOS, and Android planted versions of PvZ. Now, newspaper zombies, they will hold the newspaper, and whenever it gets destroyed, it gets angry and eats faster. Probably good enough. I can start putting one more pea shooters down. Sadly, I guess this defense could be symmetrical if I just... Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, but yeah, if I have enough, time to do that. Oh no, I don't have enough. This is, I think, the first song where the dynamic is just noticeable. Because I think this is the only song where an extra melody gets added instead of just more drums. Also, now whenever we complete a level, we'll get a big coin for every lawnmower we have. Hey, great 300 coins so far. Click on it. What did I say? You'll do so really neato. So, sun shrooms, they produce suns, just like... So we're not going to bring sunflowers this time, I think. Yeah, I think we will bring the same plants as last time. So, they produce sun every 25 seconds as just like with sunflowers. However, whenever they are small, they'll only produce small suns, which give you 15. But... Wow, oh my god, I'm so good with words. However, after 120 seconds, they will grow into big sunshrooms and pretty small suns. So after a while, they just become 25 sunshrooms, sunflowers. And because you start with 50 sun, you can plant 2 of them, and after a while, they will just be better than sunflowers. At least for the nighttime stage. We'll get there eventually. I could probably be set up. I don't call them pea shrooms. I don't think that there's a mushroom that shoots peas. Typically, the mushrooms and peas just shoot spores. Realizing that I can't, be quiet for the whole video. Oh, man. But of course, now that minutes you're starting to grow up, the babies are real. I'm sorry, little. We're growing up on time. Screw ya. Let's go up. The dynamic music here, but the dynamic music I think is one of the favorite things of Plants vs. Zombies. I'm pretty sure this is the only song that gets a extra melodic element. I'm pretty sure every horde variation with that's what these are. These are horde variations. They will only show up when enough zombies are on screen, typically playing around big, huge waves. However, there are points in time where the horde version will play outside of huge waves. However, that's not always, though. Don't even worry about that. Are you kidding me? Make it not sacrificial. What happens when you're zero sun? It's very feels like a reminder. Like another reason that they're so good because they do actually that as a pea shooter, yeah, they have very limited range, but like four mushrooms is still like 2 mushrooms is still the same as even like 40 damage. 40. I don't know how much more I can say. I do exaggerate, extenuate. I'm that's the right word for pronouncing it correctly. And that's the neat part. I don't know anything. block. I think. Yeah, this is probably the best. There we go. And symmetry. Kind of. Symmetry outside of the groups. Fume shrooms. And another new zombie. So, do a new sunflower. Another interesting thing you could do is sunflowers and sunshrooms, which I'll do that next level. I don't always have notes of when I'm gonna do what strategies. No, I just like mixing up strategies from time to time. The night levels are typically where I'm not using that many different strategies. Like, then again, actually, I'm not really I'm varying strategies level by level. However, this is typically always how I do it. Kind of another reason why I wanted to do a Let's Play Plants vs. Zombies is I've always had kind of a weird way of going through the story mode. I've always enjoyed using the plants, most of the plants to their fullest extent. Of course, that doesn't always mean that I will consistently be using plants normally. However, for this Let's Play, I'm 100% going to be using everything. I definitely want to be using every single plant. For probably more than 1 or 2 levels. Like I want to show off that every plant has a use. Pick the one that wants to give you personally. You can make a difference. You can make it right. Plant our first fume shroom, and fume shrooms are interesting, and they'll do the same amount of damage as, you know, mushroom shooter. Same DPS. However, they pierce through zombies and screen, and also pierce through screen doors, damaging the zombie behind it. As well, since they pierce through zombies, that's one pea shooter, but for every zombie on the lane. That's why I think these are really good. I personally am a huge fan of fume shrooms. There we go. They also have a short range, however, you know, that can be remedied with more fume shrooms. That's kind of another strategy. Mushroom plants are typically cheap, very spammable plants, which makes them really good, actually. It's kind of a recurring theme with the night ones, that they're cheap and spammable because you don't get sun falling from the sky. Place more popular than I am. Oh, and that's it. Because I forgot that, you know, it's a, probably. There we go. Perfectly symmetrical. Woo, it's a great buster. Hey, what about you start? But the other people, which is 76. How's that sound? And hey, so we do come out. See you later. Sell you later. Talk to you later. Oh, Ball Zombies is back. Go ahead. Okay, so now let's do this strategy. Now that we can do that, Puffgirl, doink, 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 and doink. So, place Sunflower first. I think that's its strategy, is that you place the Sunflower first. Pretty sure this is also another speedrunning strat, because it's quicker than just planting 2 Sunshrooms. You can get a... These two exist. That's what's inside. Some of these raids will have text. Not all of them, but I do like the ones that have text on them. They're typically very funny. This game is also it's very humorous for the quote unquote grim scenario you were in. The game with its art style is just a very not happy-go one, but like its energy is no other game has been able to capture the energy that Plants vs. Zombies 1 has, especially not even its sequels. Like Plants vs. Zombies 1 is very lightning in a bottle. Put something here, so I don't have to deal with that. To destroying these Great Buster. Now, Great Buster, it'll take 4.5 seconds. It's very helpful for the penny pincher. You'll always know when a coin is going to spawn, which does not normally happen. I'm pretty sure you could just start a level. I'm pretty sure you could probably just start a level and destroy a grave. Zombie spawn. I do not think I would just get the penny pincher achievement whenever we get the penny pincher achievement. They won't spawn zombies. Oh god, I clicked off. On the big one, on every big wave, it's only... So, I believe this game. I'm not typically someone who likes windowed mode all that often. I'm who plays in full screen. However, I think with the resolution UZ is at, it just works better in window mode. Although maybe window mode still yes, the best looking thing. But you know what? We ball. This is an awful thing to do mid-episode. I'll try to figure it out. start zombie. No, yeah, start put zombies in. Right, imagine if there was a like put zombies. That'd be crazy. Middle is probably the best place to blow it up. Flamingo. Oh, okay. Cool. There we go. I don't think I missed a coin. I don't think I missed a coin so far. This is the Bourbon Almanac. Keep track of all plants and zombies you encounter. So, the Suburban Almanac, as it says, will show you all the plants and zombies that you have encountered or collected. And they'll give you some information, which is where, you know, I kind of was inspired by the, how's I describe it? Inspired. That's what all my graphics are based on, is these information. However, I try and provide more information than Sun Production normal. There is no low and then normal. They mean the size of the suns. Really, definitely not as much information as like 20 damage per P, which zombies have 270 health. Definitely more information. But they also have cute little blurbs, and there will be an episode later on in the series where I read all the Almanac entries, because we do not have anywhere close to like toughness medium. Again, that means nothing. However, I do want to talk about something. In the replanted versions of Plants vs. Zombies Replanted, there is a section of archive images. While most are definitely real beta images and beta screenshots of Plants vs. Zombies, is showcasing how, you know, Sanaquarium, their previous game, was kind of the basis of Plants vs. Zombies, is said in an interview that Plants vs. Zombies originated from how could we take Sanaquarium and go further with that concept. So some of these designs are real, like the old designs of Conehead, which for some reason they didn't include the Buckethead's old design, where it's painted. This isn't blood. It's literally red paint, which I think is very interesting. They don't show that for some reason. So they do have real old designs, beta plants designs, and some real concept art with Rich Werner's signature. He's the main artist of PvZ. However, there's one image that is presumably fake. So the reason this is this zombie in the corner. That is the disco zombie. The dancing zombie. We've not encountered the dancing zombies yet. However, back when Plants vs. Zombies first released, the dancing zombie was originally dressed like Michael Jackson in the Thriller music video. However, very sadly, a few months after Plants vs. Zombies release, Michael Jackson passed away. PopCap was contacted by his real estate to make a new design for the zombie. When this came out, and people were suspecting this, they tweeted at Rich Werner, the original artist for Plants vs. Zombies, and he had this to say: "Let me put this on record, these early sketches for PvZ1 are all BS. It's funny, too, that Disco Zombie's a part of it, because we got a letter from MJ's estate to redo it. I redesigned it on the fly in one afternoon. There's no possibility of an early concept." It's so weird to me how in a series with a lot of history behind it, you just kind of put easily obtainable beta art from PvZ1 the menus from Replanted, which are like 5 clicks away from the Almanac once you unlock them. And then once they realized that they didn't have anything to do, they didn't have any other concept art to put there, which is a lie. They easily could have put in like Garden Warfare and PvZ2 concept art, but they didn't. They just kind of hastily threw together a fake concept art, put a fake coffee stain on it, didn't even make a real signature, just put squiggles to kind of vaguely look like Rich Werner's signature and put in the game and hope no one would notice. I hate to end this episode on such a bummer note, but this is another reason why I'm not playing Replanted for the main version. I will, of course, be showing everything that comes with Replanted, and as there's a lot I did buy it. I just don't recommend it at all. Buy the Game of the Year edition. Buy the Game of the Year edition, find an old version of it for PlayStation or Xbox. I'm pretty sure you could still buy it on the Xbox. The Microsoft Store on the Xbox. Like, I'm not 100% sure, as I don't have my Xbox out, but I'm pretty sure you can still buy it. Anyway, sorry to end on such a downer note, but next time on Plants vs. Zombies, we will be continuing the night attacks and seeing what... Oh my god, no, I'm an idiot. It's not next time on Plants vs. Zombies. I forgot we do the Dash 5s in these episodes. Oh my god. I'm a stupid idiot. They can go back to zombies. It's like on tour books. You know, for you're on. It's you! I can't believe I almost typed it. Yeah, I'm not gonna edit that out. That is of a note tag. That's so much. Completely forgot to do this. Some zombies. This is definitely. I think it's not one of the versions to do this with Pokemon. This is another great stage for any character configuration. Zombies. Raids will constantly spawn. You'll always get enough sun. Zombies. It really seems like zombies are dropping way more on these levels. Zombies, when they spawn, sometimes have different speeds. You know, if we're going to complain about Replanted, I'm not sure if this bug is fixed. However, sometimes zombies will just teleport when coming out of graves, which is insane. This is probably, I think probably the PC is one of the easiest versions to do whack a zombie on. Any version with you play with a controller, I am so sorry, including Replanted. It's just no. Like, it is definitely not. Go, now. Forgot. Okay, and there we go, there's benefit achievement. Pick up 30 coins. I'm pretty sure I said what. Alright. This is also another way is once you're done with the level, you do this. And on versions with versions where you can go back and replay the levels, like on the mobile and like on iOS, Android, and Replanted, on those versions, you can like this is just a really good level to grind money on for very early in the game. So if you wanted to get your 7th seed slot right away, you could. And I'm pretty sure I did that when I played Reclaimer, because I have not played versions. I had never played a version with the level select before. I've only played on the DS and PC versions. Anyway, next time on Plants vs. Zombies, next time on Plants vs. Zombies, we will be continuing to fight the zombie horde and seeing what the Hypnoshroom has in store. See you guys then.